Imagine finding out your best friend, your ride or die since childhood, stabbed you in the back in the worst way possible. Not over money, not over a petty fight, but by sleeping with your wife. What would you do? Forgive him? Fight him? Or make him regret it for the rest of his life? My name is Lucas, and what you're about to hear is a true story, my story. It's not just about betrayal. It's about the kind of revenge that leaves a mark. See, growing up, I had one true friend, Ryan. We'd been tight since third grade. We played ball together, got in trouble together, even stood by each other at our weddings. He was like a brother to me, until I found out he'd done something that no real brother could ever do. I met my wife, Emily, during college, smart, stunning, and full of ambition. We were that perfect couple everyone envied. We got married 5 years after meeting and bought a house in the suburbs. Life seemed solid. But behind that white picket fence dream was a storm brewing, and I didn't see it coming. Ryan had always been close to both of us, maybe too close. He'd come over for Sunday BBQs. We'd go on double dates, and when I got promoted at work and had to travel more, I trusted Ryan to keep Emily company. You know, just to make sure she wasn't lonely. Yeah, I was that naive. The signs were there, but I missed them, or maybe I just didn't want to believe them. Emily became distant. Her phone never left her hand. Late night yoga classes turned into longer absences. And Ryan, he started dodging my calls, making excuses. Then one night, I came home early from a trip. My flight got canceled due to weather, but I didn't tell anyone. I just wanted to surprise Emily. Instead, I surprised myself. I walked into our home to find 2 wine glasses on the coffee table, soft music playing, and laughter from upstairs. I crept up, heart pounding, and what I saw through that cracked bedroom door shattered everything. Ryan, my best friend, naked, in bed with my wife. I didn't confront them, not then. I quietly stepped back, walked out, and sat in my car for what felt like hours. Crying? No, I wasn't angry. Not yet. I was numb. But numbness turns to rage, and rage, well, rage turns to revenge. That night, I didn't just lose a wife or a best friend. I lost my trust. But I also found a purpose. I wasn't going to scream or fight or beg. That's what they probably expected. No, I was going to ruin Ryan. Slowly, painfully, permanently. Over the next few weeks, I played it cool, pretended not to know, even acted grateful when Ryan brought over takeout and beers, pretending like we were still brothers. Meanwhile, I started digging. I learned things. Ryan was a CPA, worked for a major firm downtown. He prided himself on his clean record and his reputation. Turns out, he wasn't as squeaky clean as he thought. A few anonymous tips later, a forged document or two, and Ryan found himself under internal audit. The thing about revenge? It works best when it's surgical. You don't attack with fists. You use pressure. You destroy from the inside. I made sure every secret he tried to bury came to light. Misfiled client records, shady write-offs, and one client who just happened to be an undercover IRS investigator I introduced to him at a golf outing. As his world started to crumble, I filed for divorce. But not just any divorce. I hired the best PI in the state to gather footage. Clear, undeniable proof of infidelity. Emily didn't see it coming. She tried to fight it, until my lawyer laid the evidence on the table. I walked away clean, got the house, the dog, and most of our shared assets. Emily was left couch surfing with Ryan, who by now had lost his job, was under federal investigation, and was drowning in legal bills. And just when they thought things couldn't get worse, I made one final move. I published a detailed, anonymous story of what happened, photos and all, on a well-known infidelity expose blog. It went viral. Ryan became internet infamous. He couldn't walk into a job interview without someone recognizing him. Emily tried reaching out months later, apologizing, saying she made a mistake. But me? I was already on a beach in Costa Rica, drink in hand, watching the sun set with someone who actually respected me. That's the thing about betrayal. It breaks you. But if you're smart, it also makes you. And me? I made sure they never forgot the day they decided to betray the wrong guy. After I ruined Ryan's career, exposed his dirty financial laundry, and walked away with everything Emily and I built together, I wasn't done, not even close. See, revenge isn't just about getting even. It's about taking control of the narrative, owning the pain they gave you, and turning it into the kind of justice they never saw coming. After the divorce was finalized, I moved quickly. I didn't just vanish, I rebranded. Got a new job across the country with a higher salary and full relocation package. But before I left, I planted a few final seeds. I'd found out Ryan was applying for a mortgage with Emily. They wanted to buy a fixer-upper and start fresh. Cute, right? So I made a few anonymous calls to the lender with documents proving his ongoing IRS case and pending felony review. Loan denied. Next, I reached out to a few old friends, people we'd grown up with, mutual acquaintances. I didn't even have to exaggerate. I just shared the truth. How Ryan had crossed a line, destroyed a family, and torched decades of friendship for a few sweaty nights. Word got around fast. Turns out, people don't respect snakes. He lost a lot of people. But Emily? She held on. For a while. But love built on lies always falls apart. One night, 3 months after I moved to Denver, I got a message from Emily. It started with, "I know I don't deserve this," and ended with, "You were the best thing that ever happened to me." Part of me wanted to ignore it. The other part, the savage side, decided to respond. I told her I forgave her. Not for her, but for me. Because I had moved on. And that was true. What wasn't true was what came next. I said, "I hope Ryan's treating you better than I ever did." That one sentence. It stuck with her. How do I know? Because a few weeks later, Ryan messaged me too. His was less emotional, more desperate. "You need to stop telling people lies about me." But the kicker? I hadn't lied. Not once. He was just spiraling, and I was simply watching from a safe distance. But I wasn't done watching. I still had access to our old home security system. Cameras I never disconnected. Emily never changed the passwords. That's how I found out they were fighting. A lot. Screaming matches, slamming doors, accusations. He blamed her for ruining his life. She blamed him for not being a real man. It was like watching a slow-motion car crash. Tragic, but you can't look away. And then came the real checkmate. I had a friend, a tech-savvy guy named Damien. He owed me big time from college. I asked him to do one thing: monitor Ryan's online activity. And guess what Damien found? Ryan had started trading crypto. Badly. He was dumping what little money he had left into pump-and-dump groups on Telegram, hoping for a quick score. So I posed as a fake crypto guru, created a profile, built fake gains, and slid into one of his trading channels. I fed him hype, false signals, fake insider tips. He followed every one. Within weeks, he dumped nearly $12,000 into a dead-end coin we rigged for a collapse. It tanked. He lost it all. And then he got angry. Started threatening people in the group, claiming fraud. Damien sent me screenshots. I sent those to the local police, attached to his already open financial case. He was flagged for potential cyber harassment and financial misconduct. Again, as all this unfolded, I made one final move. Poetic, really. I mailed him a framed photo. It was from my wedding day. He was my best man, standing next to me, smiling. Only I had edited it. His face was replaced with a giant red X, and at the bottom I wrote, "Should have stayed a friend." No return address. Just that. A few weeks later, Emily left him. I heard through the grapevine that she moved back in with her sister, took a retail job, and started going to therapy. Ryan? He spiraled even harder. He got evicted, his car repossessed, and the IRS officially filed charges. I didn't even have to lift a finger anymore. He was drowning in consequences he created, and I just gave him a push into the deep end. The best revenge is never loud. It's slow, surgical. I watched every piece of his life collapse like dominoes. And I never raised my voice. Never threatened him. Never laid a finger on him. But he'll never forget me. And that's exactly what I wanted. You'd think that by now, jobless, broke, dumped, and under federal scrutiny, Ryan would have learned to back off. But no. Some people are too prideful to accept defeat. And Ryan? He wasn't done trying to crawl out of the hole he dug. See, when a man loses everything, he either gets humble or gets reckless. And Ryan? He chose reckless. After months of silence, he tried coming after me. He must have thought I had some master plan all this time, something way more elaborate than just letting karma do its thing. So he started poking around. First, it was little things, petty online harassment. He made burner accounts, left fake reviews about my new company, tried spreading rumors anonymously about me at work. But I'd already built trust with my new employer. I showed them everything. One quick cybersecurity trace later, and we linked the IPs back to, you guessed it, Ryan. My boss laughed and said, If this is the kind of clown trying to bring you down, I'm not worried. But I was. Not because I was scared, because I knew desperate men do dumb things. And I was right. The next thing he did? He tried to catfish me. He created a fake online persona, some woman named Alicia, who just happened to be into hiking, books, and bourbon. 3 things I publicly posted about on my Instagram. Alicia was charming, funny, even had a fake career as a travel blogger. I entertained it for about a week before I got suspicious. Her photos were too polished. Her responses? Just a bit too tailored. So I ran one of the photos through a reverse image search, and boom. Stock photo from a European model site. I knew right then it was Ryan. But instead of calling him out, I leaned in. I flirted. Got Alicia to open up. Told her I was traveling soon. Sent her fake hotel info. She asked what room. I gave it to her. But I wasn't going anywhere. Instead, I told my tech friend Damien to monitor Ryan's activity. The night Alicia was supposed to meet me at that hotel, I had a buddy from local law enforcement watching the entrance. Sure enough, security spotted Ryan loitering in the parking lot with a burner phone and a cheap hoodie. He was arrested for stalking and harassment. Charged. Mugshot and all. I didn't even need to press it. The system took care of him for me. But here's the kicker. During that arrest, the cops searched his phone. Found messages. Not just about me, but dozens of screenshots. Of Emily. Of old co-workers. Of other people he'd been harassing online. It wasn't just me. Ryan had gone full unhinged. And the court didn't take that lightly. He ended up with a restraining order, court-mandated therapy, probation, and had to wear an ankle monitor for 6 months. And me? I was back at work, calm, steady, living in peace. But just for closure, just one final touch, I mailed him something. This time, not a photo, just a single sentence typed on white paper. You did all this to yourself. That was it. No signature. Nothing else. Because the best revenge? It's not fire. It's ice. Cold. Precise. Controlled. And when the dust finally settled, I didn't just win. I walked away with everything. My dignity, my freedom, my life rebuilt better than ever. And Ryan? He lives every day as a punchline to his own failure. That's what happens when you betray the wrong man. You don't just lose the game. You become the story. And trust me, he'll be telling my story for the rest of his life. If that revenge hit you like it hit me, go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Got a betrayal story of your own? Or a wild revenge tale? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you know someone who needs to hear this kind of payback, share the video. Let them know karma doesn't play nice. Most importantly, subscribe and turn on notifications, because I've got more stories coming that'll make your jaw drop. Until next time, stay sharp, stay savage, and never let betrayal go unanswered.